Hey everybody, welcome to Software Quality and Beer. So this is the revised Checkpoint Tech Happy Hour, which I'm willing to bet a lot of you, I hope a lot of you remember. And you know, Checkpoint Tech Happy Hour, that was just way too darn long. So we're going with Software Quality and Beer. And today I am very excited to be podcasting from Thirsty Buffalo in Odessa, Florida. And I am joined here by my ever-present crime in arms here, or arms in crime, companion in crime. That's what I want to go with. Matt Kubal, partner in crime. Thank you, Mike.
You got it.
Thank you. And then we also have Mike Bishop and Aaron Bishop, and they're the owners, proprietors of Thirsty Buffalo. So Mike and Aaron, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, so you know, we thought this was an appropriate way to kick off because we're going to be doing as many of our cast here from Thirsty Buffalo that we can. So if you're fortunate enough to be in the area, come on by anytime. We want to hear from you. But with that said, so Mike and Aaron, if you guys wouldn't mind sharing with the viewers what it is that you all do. I mean, I know you own, but
What is it?
you're the owners.
What does it mean?
It's funny, you know, I've often had the thought of like doing a series of like what people think brewery owners do and what we actually do. I think everybody thinks we sit around and drink beer all day, but today I was moving kegs between facilities, I was up top cleaning, we're doing all kinds of stuff. Okay. So paperwork,
Yes.
emails, just like anybody else.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. It's just, you know, we know where to get a good beer at the end of the day. So,
Good. Nice. And from as far as, you know, and Aaron, what is it that you do for Thirsty Buffalo?
All the same things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A
Just
lot of
kinda-
different hats, right?
Yeah, a lot of different hats.
Yeah,
There's a million
yeah.
things to do and not a lot of time to do them, so
Yeah.
just try and,
She keeps everybody in line.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I can definitely relate to that because actually tomorrow, Checkpoint Technology celebrates its 22nd anniversary.
Wow.
Congratulations. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
thank you.
Yeah.
So we've always been headquartered in the Tampa Bay area. But one things I've learned is, as an owner, you wear a lot of different hats, right? And then one of the
Endless.
things I'm willing to bet, because Matt will attest to it, he wears a lot of different hats for Checkpoint Technologies, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You
All
are
different jobs.
more than software testing engineer extraordinaire. You do a lot of other stuff.
Manager of groups of people, client manager for
Oh, yeah.
for contracts and stuff like that.
Right.
So
Right.
a lot less engineering time than
Yeah.
I would wish. Same way you guys probably spend a lot less time brewing beer than
Right,
you would.
exactly.
Yes.
Prefer to be
Exactly.
doing-
We
Oh,
would
paperwork.
prefer to be back there helping Joel and brewing, but there's a lot of other things that have to be done.
Yeah. So one of the things, you know, I'm curious about is how do you all, because we always like to tie quality with whatever we're talking about.
Yeah.
How do you all validate the quality of your beer?
Yeah, so it's a good question. So we have a lab in the back. So we do have a microscope. We have different tools to test pH, test dissolved oxygen, test different parts of the beer to make sure that, you know, it is consistent in quality. You know, this industry has evolved so much over the past decade. I mean, obviously blew up, and you know, we're at a kind of a plateau right now, and consumers are putting quality of product above anything else. You got to have quality there. So if you're not invested in the tools to be able to test that, you're lacking.
Okay, all right. So you kind of utilize a modern technique because you're using some software, different things like
Oh
that.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, we have software too, brewing software that
Yeah.
we use that tracks our ingredients and you know, our efficiency of product too. So that's not so much on the quality side, but more on the productivity side, because, you know, it's easy for a brewer to pour a whole bunch of malt into a tank, you know, into our brew system, and whatever comes out, right? But we want to make sure that the cost of our raw materials is producing X amount of beer at the right alcohol content too. And that's all about efficiency. So there's kind of testing all across the board on that. And then of course it comes down to starting with quality water too. We have a reverse osmosis system, so we strip our water down to basic H2O and then rebuild the mineral profile with different salts. So we can mimic any type of beer or any type of water to make beer if we want to do like, we did a classic Italian Pilsner. Well, we got a water profile from Italy. and we just rebuilt the water that way.
Oh,
So,
okay, very cool.
Yeah, it could be, it's funny because our industry could be very rudimentary. It could be hey, I'm dumping some malt and hot water and I made a beer. But it can also be very high tech, and we prefer to lean towards the tech side.
Oh, very cool, very
Yeah.
cool. And it's funny, you were talking about just a moment ago how this industry has blown up. When former President Jimmy Carter passed away, I actually heard on the news, one of the things he's credited with is making home brewing legal. And I think it said, and any of you can correct me if I'm wrong, but when just before he signed that bill, there were something like maybe 500 microbreweries in the United States.
Yeah.
Now there are, I don't know, thousands and thousands.
It's close to
504.
Yeah, it's close to 10,000 now.
Yeah.
That being said, 2024 is the first year since the explosion that we saw more breweries close than open.
Oh, okay.
So there is a stabilization happening in the industry. A lot of us are prioritizing diversifying our tap rooms, diversifying different product to get into, and the industry is maturing, just like any other industry, really. Software industry, humble beginnings as well.
Right.
And there's all kinds of adjustments with the evolution of artificial intelligence and different facets. So we're just finding our ways to evolve.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. And, I'm sure in this industry, especially where it's so competitive, you've got to have a lot of innovation.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I'm curious, Erin, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Prior to being involved in the brewery business, were you a beer drinker?
A little bit.
A little.
A little bit.
Just a little bit?
Just a little bit. I mean, a little bit. When we met, I was kind of getting into it.
Okay.
And so he taught me a lot of things, and then I kind of evolved with it when he built his first place, and we decided.
What did you bring to that party?
Oh, God.
It was
Dogfish Head.
Dogfish Head 60 minute, and then the Kona
Was it Big Wave?
Big Wave
Big
or
Wave,
something.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The party that I met her at.
Yeah.
She brought a couple 6-packs of craft beer, and here we are
I guess
now.
he was
Nice.
really
I
impressed
like
with that,
Dogfish
so,
Head.
Yeah,
Oh,
14 years later. So
Oh, the rest is
The rest
history,
is
right?
history, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
she didn't know I was going to suck her into the industry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How do you guys? I've always wondered. What's the process? What's the thought process on coming up with the flavors for beers?
Yeah, so first and foremost, we're brewing for our customers, not for us. So very rarely are we like, hey, I really want to drink this. We listen to our customers. We have a sales rep that's out in the market as well, selling to bars and restaurants, and really brings back some good feedback as far as like what are some trends that we're seeing right now.
Okay.
IPAs still very big, hazy IPAs. People still ask for sour beers, so we kind of get a gauge of the market and what people are liking, and then tailor it towards that.
Okay.
A lot of people ask us about like how many test batches we do to get there. A lot of times not. We just go for it.
Yeah.
We're fortunate. The size of our system is relatively small in like craft beer world, so the worst thing that happens is we end up with 20 kegs of a good beer, but it's not exactly what we wanted. It goes on tap and everybody loves it.
Yeah, nice.
So we do kind of try and fine tune some things. So we'll brew a batch first. We'll see if it kind of hits the mark that we wanted, and then we'll adjust a little bit. But for the most part, we just go for it.
And what do you mean by hit the mark? Just,
Yeah. So hop profile,
Okay.
aroma, bitterness,
Okay.
what the sweetness is, the color, the presentation of it, mouthfeel, a lot of different aspects of beer that people, typically don't catch on to.
Right. Well, you said something just a minute ago that Matt and I can relate to when you said you brew beer for your customers.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just like in the software world, I think a lot of times we forget we develop software for our customers. So you, the developers, might love the software you've created or the beer you've created, but if the customers, the end users don't want it, it's going to go back.
Oh yeah,
Right, absolutely.
Hands
Right.
down. We love strong, dark, like imperial stouts,
Yeah.
like 12,
Oh,
13%, like really thick and nasty stouts, right? But we don't brew them.
WD-40.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
exactly.
we don't brew them very often because they don't sell as much, especially being down here in Florida where it's hotter.
Yeah.
People typically associate high alcohol dark beers with colder time, and they just don't move. So we haven't really made them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You guys do get to do one thing in particular, though, that I cannot relate to software, in that we don't get to give our software really wicked cool names.
Yeah.
You know? So, like,
Yeah.
Matt, what are you drinking today?
It's a Ciao Bella.
Okay, Ciao Bella.
Yeah, I got the same Archabella.
All right,
Captain Kolsch.
Captain Kolsch. And I'm drinking Get Your Day Started.
Yeah.
And I can't say that without my New England accent coming out, you know?
Yeah.
So you get the
Yeah.
delicious coffee blonde.
Yeah.
Very good.
So yeah, but now, so how do you come up with the names for these?
Oh God.
Is that you, Erin?
No. A lot of times they're just kind of a funny joke or something that just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, they could be inside
It
jokes.
could
It
be
could be.
meaningful. It could be, just a laughable moment that we can't stop laughing about, and we're like, well, we have to name a beer that. You know.
It's funny. We often joke. So between myself, our brewer here in Odessa, Joel, our brewer in Land O'Lakes, Justin, we have over 50 years of brewing experience, and the hardest part for us is naming the beer.
I bet.
Because we
Yeah.
come up with a beer, so we have a Scotch ale that we're brewing, and we keep for days we're like, what are we gonna name this thing? I don't know. Like we just don't. We just named so many beers at this point now. It's not even really the fun part, which is kind of funny. But yeah, it's just a combination. Sometimes just something. Captain Kolsch, where did that even come from?
It just fell out of my brain. I was thinking Captain Crunch
Did you
and
name that
Kolsch.
one?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
I
yeah.
don't know where it came from.
I like
and
that.
it just
It worked.
rang well. It was around Gasparilla the first time we brewed it, so
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you
It
worry
made
about
sense.
whether the name is unique? Do you go search for that and
we
see if
do.
somebody else has done that?
We do.
Especially, it's more important when you're selling it into the market
Sure.
that you're
Yeah.
not stepping on people's toes
Yeah.
at a bar or restaurant. We have found, a lot of breweries have found, if you typically go with a few words, get your day started, you're probably okay.
Right,
We do a search and then we just see if it's a small tap room that's in Vancouver or something, we'll be like, we'll get away
Screw
with
those
it
guys,
right
yeah.
now. Yeah.
we have had some great names that we've had to completely eliminate because
Yeah.
they were out in the market and we're like,
Yeah, someone's got
Somebody already
production
thought of it.
beer
that's
and
why we
they're
got
like,
it. Yeah.
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 With 10,000 breweries, every one of us making, 50, 100 beers a year,
Yeah.
Have
you seen the beer name generators online? It's kind of mocking the whole.
Oh,
the
really?
way they name
Really?
IPAs. Like juicy this and that, and it just combines a bunch of words together to make ridiculous.
That's funny. Maybe we need to
names.
use that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we should
you
probably
just
use
get
that.
there and keep pressing the buttons till it looks
We've
good.
tried to use ChatGPT with beer names, and I don't know, it just doesn't really quite get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome. Well, hey, before we close, I think a lot of you watching know that we have a beer T-shirt, which compares and explains how testing beer is a lot like testing software, or vice versa. But anyway, we want to give each of you one. So,
Awesome.
sweet.
Thank you.
yeah, absolutely.
How
And
fun.
Erin, this blue is for
I
you.
love
Oh,
blue. It's my
sweet.
favorite color.
And this is, if you
Okay,
also ever
awesome.
need to be a caution cone, you
yeah,
can put that on.
yeah. That's sweet, man. Thank you.
favorite
Yeah,
color.
you're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you
you're
so
welcome.
much.
But thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for letting us, do the podcast from here.
Of course.
Of course,
Really
anytime.
appreciate it.
Happy to have you
And
guys.
thank you for your beer. It's
Beer's
delicious.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, guys. Yeah, enjoy.
All right. And everybody, hope you can, let us know what are some of the different topics you want to hear about. I mean, some things that I know Matt and I have discussed. We want to do demos every once in a while, things like that. But anyway, let us know what you think. Hit the like button. Follow our homepage. Follow our LinkedIn page. Thanks again, everybody.
Yeah,
Thanks, Mike.
of course.
Thanks, Erin.
You
Bye
got
now.
it. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Matt.
Totally.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, bye now.